Namaskar, good evening. You are watching Rajya Sabha television. I'm Smriti Rastogi with News Tonight. Let's begin the bulletin with the top headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi blames Trinamool Congress for West Bengal's problems, alleges that a political syndicate is running the affairs of the state. Addressing farmers in Midnapur, asserts that only the NDA government has fulfilled promise of raising the minimum support price of Kharif food grains. Makeshift tent collapses during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's rally at Paschim Midnapur. Over 67 people injured. Prime Minister visits hospital, inquires after the well-being of the victims. Ahead of the monsoon session, opposition parties firm up strategy to target government. Congress President Rahul Gandhi writes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on passing Women's Reservation Bill. Agriculture should be at the top of the government's agenda, says Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Addressing the New India conclave, underscores need for more discussion on farming in Parliament, emphasizes need to bridge the urban-rural divide. And US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin address joint press conference. Trump denies collusion with Russia during election, says he didn't know Putin at the time. Putin expresses concern over US decision to pull out of Iran nuclear deal. Our top focus tonight, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday asserted that NDA government is a government of farmers. Addressing a rally in West Bengal's Midnapur, he added that the massive rise in the MSP will greatly benefit farmers from across the country. The rally, held on the Midnapur College grounds, was the Prime Minister's first visit to the state this year.
Bharat Mata ki!
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Monday reiterated that his government is working to double the income of farmers by 2022. Modi, who addressed a farmers' rally in Midnapur, exhorted that only the NDA government could fulfill the promise of raising the minimum support price of Kharif food grains made to farmers. He asserted that this decision has helped farmers in West Bengal.
पिछले वर्षों में जूट की प्रति क्विंटल कीमत को हमने 1700 रुपयों से ज्यादा बढ़ोतरी की है। इस फैसले का पश्चिम बंगाल के जूट के जो उत्पादक हैं, उन हमारे किसान भाइयों को फायदा हुआ है।
The Prime Minister accused the Mamata Banerjee government of what he called throttling democracy and encouraging syndicates in West Bengal. He alleged that the syndicate dictates the government in the state. He also hit out at the TMC government for not doing enough to address the issues of farmers.
अपनी वोट बैंक के लिए ये सिंडिकेट सत्ता को कैसे भी बनाए रखने के सपने पूरे करने के लिए सिंडिकेट अनैतिक, अवैधानिक, गैर कानूनी कामों में जुटी हुई है।
The Prime Minister said Bengal is waiting for an opportunity to free itself from the shackles of violence that he alleges was unleashed by the present government. He promised that the wait will be over soon. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And at least 67 people, including 13 women, were injured when a makeshift tent collapsed at the venue of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's rally in West Bengal's Midnapur. The tent was erected next to the main entrance of the rally venue to shelter people from the rain. Post the incident, the local BJP unit as well as Prime Minister Modi's personal staff, including his doctor and the SPG personnel, swung into action to help the injured. The Prime Minister also visited the injured at the hospital later. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee said that the state government would provide all medical assistance to those injured in the rally. Meanwhile, Centre has sought report from West Bengal government on tent collapse incident. On to some more developments. Opposition parties met on Monday to formulate a joint strategy for the monsoon session of the Parliament starting July 18th. Leaders from Congress, TMC, RJD, CPIM, NCP, Kerala Congress, IUML, SP, DMK, BSP, JDS attended the meeting. Leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, called it a traditional meeting of the like-minded opposition parties. He also said that they want both the houses to function. Azad said that they will raise the issues of lynching, unemployment, SC, ST, OBC reservation, higher education in the monsoon session, and they will also discuss tomorrow with the government at the all-party meeting. Remember, finalizing a joint candidate for the Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman's post, which fell vacant after the end of the term of PJ Kurian from the Congress on July 1st, is also on the agenda of the opposition and the government. And ahead of the monsoon session, Congress President Rahul Gandhi has offered his party's unconditional support to ensure the passage of Women's Reservation Bill. In a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Gandhi said that the time is right for women to take their rightful place in the state legislatures and the parliament. The Congress chief also urged the Prime Minister to ensure that the bill gets passed in this session itself, so that women can participate more meaningfully in the state elections later this year and the Lok Sabha polls next year. Gandhi also claimed that his party has collected over 3.2 million signatures of people in support of the bill and said that he was submitting the same to the Prime Minister seeking his support. The Women's Reservation Bill, which was passed by the Rajya Sabha on March 9, 2010, is stalled in the Lok Sabha for over 8 years. The BJP, however, questioned Gandhi's intention of writing to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the issue. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar accused the Congress of adopting double standard on the matter and asked Gandhi if he would be able to bring letters of support from his own allies who are against the Women Reservation Bill.
बोले ये साफ झलक रहा है, बिल्कुल साफ है कि जो महिला आरक्षण के बिल का बीजेपी ने तो समर्थन किया था, तो जिन्होंने विरोध किया उनके साथ आज कांग्रेस बैठी है, उनके साथ महागठबंधन कांग्रेस का है, हमारा नहीं है.
And the government has also reached out to the opposition parties for smooth functioning of both the houses. Union Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Vijay Goyal met leaders of opposition parties, including Samajwadi Party leader Ram Gopal Yadav, BSP leader Satish Chandra Mishra, Shiv Sena leader Sanjay Raut and CPI leader D. Rajya. He also met leaders of TRS, BJD and others, according to a news report in the PTI. During his interaction with the political leaders, the minister is reported to have sought their cooperation in the smooth functioning of Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Also ahead of the monsoon session of the Parliament, Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan will hold discussions with leaders of various political parties at a dinner meeting on July 17th. The monsoon session of the Parliament will begin from July 18th. According to the Lok Sabha Secretariat, the Speaker will seek the support of the parties in ensuring smooth functioning of the session and passage of various pending bills. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also likely to attend the dinner, though he will not be participating in the meeting. The meeting will take place in the Parliament Library building and will be preceded by another meeting of the government with opposition parties. And for more on this, we'll go across to Smita Prakash, editor of ANI. Thank you so much for speaking to us. And what will be the opposition's and government's agenda for the monsoon session?
Smriti, it's just 3 sessions left in the tenure of this government. So what's going to happen is that the opposition is going to try its level best to not let bills pass, because they don't want to give the impression that here is a government that works. And the government, on the other hand, the treasury benches will try and get as many bills as they can push forward in this session. I mean, if you see, there are just 18 working days left and 68 bills pending in the Lok Sabha and 40 bills pending in the Rajya Sabha.
Absolutely.
There's little, to hope that all this will pass through. it's unlikely that everything is going to pass through and that the opposition is going to cooperate with the treasury benches. All this work that happens before the first day of Parliament or before the first week of Parliament, this is all preparation and all the right noises which are being made just by the opposition and the treasury benches trying to say that the intention is right. But we've all seen what actually happens when the Parliament session begins, just bickering, shouting, screaming and very disheartening.
And what will be the government's and opposition strategy on finalizing a joint candidate for the Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairman's post? Will there be a show of stand there on that point?
Look, in the Rajya Sabha, it is the opposition which has a slight edge as compared to the ruling party. The ruling party's strength is in the lower house, which is the Lok Sabha. But in the Rajya Sabha, they really don't have that much of a strength. And the opposition is almost thrilled to bits that Mr. Arun Jaitley is not going to be there, and the BJP has still not found a candidate who has the stature to take on the might of old parliamentarians, experienced parliamentarians from the opposition. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Sharad Yadav, Dr. Manmohan Singh. They don't have anybody of that stature for to take on. The ruling party doesn't have in the Rajya Sabha. Now, when it comes to who they will elect, that itself, I don't see any consensus coming up whether the ruling party agrees, because you're talking about the penultimate year of this party's this government. So I don't see any consensus coming up. I know this sounds very negative, but it's, I think, factual that you're not going to see any kind of cooperation between the two sides in these last three sessions of this Lok Sabha and this Rajya Sabha.
And there are also rumours that opposition will try...
Not Rajya Sabha, actually, Lok Sabha.
And there are also rumours that opposition will try and bring a no-confidence motion in this session. What is the likelihood of that?
Well, what happens with the no-confidence motion is that everything will come up, from cow lynching to triple talaq to this now go to Pakistan and Hindu Pakistan. Everything will come up when it comes to no-confidence motion, because the opposition will just turn around and say that Mr. Modi doesn't have the mandate of the people anymore, which itself is ridiculous, considering that look at the mandate that this party came into power. But the fact is that this is all preparations for the next election which is going to take place. So they will try and bring it, but I think the last session was such a washout and it gave such a negative view about the opposition that they might just hold back and see this session as more of an opportunity to bring forward their point of view, and during the discussions, rather than force a no confidence motion which will just not work out, and they'll have to walk out of the houses of parliament and thereby not get the airtime.
You also spoke about the crucial bills which are pending. What will be the challenges for the government to get the crucial bills like Fugitive Economics Offender Bill 2018 and Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2017, getting them passed in the parliament?
Yes, getting these passed, Smriti, as you rightly said, that it's going to be a huge challenge for the ruling party, because the BJP needs to get this, push it through. Unfortunately, they don't have the numbers in the Rajya Sabha and in the Lok Sabha. The opposition is just going to cause, to make it impossible, literally, to get these passed. Because if they get the triple talaq passed, if they get the fugitive passed, it will show forward, or the BJP will be able to say that we are a government which is able to function, which is able to pass laws and don't have to go through the ordinance route. So they will try and stall. The opposition's plan is to try and stall for the next three sessions any positive outcome as far as passing the bills is concerned in the Lok Sabha. And then obviously in the Rajya Sabha they have the strength.
Thank you so much, Smita Prakash, for joining us and giving us all those details on that crucial development. So remember, monsoon session of the Parliament begins day after tomorrow, that is 18th of July. So all eyes are set to as to how the things will pan out and how the important crucial bills in the parliament will be passed. Now, at the moment, the other big developments which we are tracking is Union Minister Arun Shourie has called the Karnataka government an opportunistic alliance with no positive agenda. In a Facebook post, Shourie accused Congress of driving Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy to desperation and said that no ideological opportunistic alliance in Karnataka was made only to keep Prime Minister Modi out. He also raised questions over the longevity of the Congress-JDS alliance in the state. Shoury's comments come on the background of Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy's statement indicating ties between the JDS and the Congress are stained. And with that, time for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. Stay with us. Welcome back. You are watching News Tonight. Now the news from Jammu and Kashmir, where 2 soldiers were injured in an encounter with militants in Kupwara. On Monday, the encounter broke out in the forest of Kupwara district. On Sunday night, the operation was still going on until reports last came in. Meanwhile, in Pulwama, 1 policeman was killed and another injured as terrorists attacked the vehicle of former MLA Mohiuddin Mir. The National Conference leader was on his way to Srinagar from Pulwama. The 2 constables were deployed on his personal security. The board of LIC, India's largest insurance company, approved the proposal to acquire 51% shares in IDBI Bank today. Life Insurance Corporation, which held 7.98% stake in the bank as of June 30th, would buy out 43% more. The move will help the debt-laden PSU Bank, which had run up 55,600 crore rupees bad loans at the end of the March quarter, get a capital support of 10,000 to 13,000 crore rupees. The deal will help LIC's entry into the banking space, with the insurance company getting access to about 2,000 bank branches through which it can sell its products. While LIC has the approval of IDBI Bank, the next step for the insurance company is to approach market regulator SEBI for the approval. India's wholesale inflation grew 5.77% in June on increasing prices of vegetables and fuel items. The latest price data was released by the Commerce and Industry Ministry. The WPI inflation stood at 4.43% in May and 0.90% in June last year. According to the official data released, inflation in food articles stood at 1.80% in June as against 1.60% in the preceding month. Inflation in vegetables jumped to 8.12% from 2.51%. Similarly, fuel and power inflation, which has a weightage of 13.15% in WPI, grew at 16.18% in June from 11.22% in May. And amid rising concerns over the privacy of user data, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India has recommended measures for privacy, security and ownership of individual data in telecom networks. TRAI said that consumers are the owners of their data and that entities controlling, processing their information are mere custodians and do not have primary rights over the data. TRAI also observed that rules for protection of personal data in the telecom space are not sufficient. In its recommendation to the Department of Telecom, TRAI said that all entities in the digital ecosystem, including telecom operators, should transparently disclose the information about the privacy breaches on their websites, along with the actions taken for mitigation and preventing such breaches in future. On to some more developments. India's indigenously developed surface-to-surface supersonic cruise missile BrahMos was successfully test-fired on Monday from the Chandipur test range off the Odisha coast. The test was conducted at 10:18 am in order to increase the longevity of the missile's life. The missile, developed with the help of Russia, has a 290-kilometer target efficiency, which is going to be extended up to 400 kilometers. The previous test firing of the missile was conducted on 21st May when it was launched from a mobile launcher under the Life Extension Program. BrahMos is the first Indian missile whose life has been extended from 10 to 15 years. Milk tankers were blocked in several districts of Maharashtra by the protesters demanding hike in the procurement price today. The agitators stopped milk tankers at various places and emptied them on the roads as a mark of protest. 6 milk trucks were blocked on Pune-Sholapur road and milk packets were also thrown at some places. The protest also affected Amul Dairy's collection centre at Vasai and Virar towns, as the cooperative giant decided not to collect milk from the farmers. Meanwhile, the opposition today created uproar and walked out of the Maharashtra Assembly on the issue, accusing the government of being anti-farmer. And on to some weather news now. Heavy rains in several parts of the country led to landslides, waterlogging and traffic disruptions in many states. In Gujarat, heavy rains lashed several districts for 2 consecutive days, resulting in 4 villages getting marooned in the worst affected Gir Somnath district. The NDRF had to be deployed to rescue 70 passengers of a meter gauge train. The Air Force was also put on alert. Chief Minister Vijay Rupani held an emergency meeting to assess the preparedness. Due to incessant rains, several rivers are overflowing, leading to the flood-like situation. Hundreds of people in different districts have been relocated to safer places. In Kerala, heavy rains accompanied by gusty winds have claimed 12 lives in the last week alone. Besides, widespread damage has been caused to the property and crops. With low-lying areas under floodwater, over 5,000 people have been shifted to relief camps across the state. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has directed authorities to dispense the compensation to flood-affected people without any delay. Schools have been closed until further notice. The Met Department has predicted rains to continue till July 19th. In Odisha, life was thrown out of gear in many parts of the state following incessant rains that led to waterlogging in low-lying areas and snapped road links in several places. Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik has urged the centre to take quick steps to save the 13th century Sun Temple of Konark, which has been facing a waterlogging problem. Heavy rains also lashed several parts of the national capital region, affecting traffic at various intersections and causing waterlogging on several roads. India and Iran on Monday deliberated on ways to deal with the possible impact on oil trade between the two countries due to the US sanctions on the import of Iranian petroleum products. The issue figured during the 15th round of Foreign Office consultations between the two countries. The Indian delegation was led by Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale, while the Iranian side was headed by Deputy Foreign Minister Saeed Abbas. India conveyed to Iran that it has yet to take a call on complying with the US sanctions, while Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister conveyed to India that his country has been a reliable energy partner for New Delhi and should remain so. During the meeting, implementation of the Chabahar Port project also figured. Both countries agreed to maintain the momentum of mutually beneficial, multifaceted bilateral cooperation and exchanges between the two sides and to hold the next round of joint commission meeting at the level of external affairs ministers in November in Iran. And US President Donald Trump and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin held a historic summit in Helsinki on Monday. Both leaders vowed their determination to forge a reset of troubled relations between them. After more than 2 hours of closed-door talks, Donald Trump told the reporter that it was a great start. Putin said that the time has come to talk in a substantive way about relations between the world's greatest nuclear powers and the problem areas of the world. Both leaders spoke extensively on the issue of Iran, but differences still continue. Trump cited data of Iran's nuclear proliferation, but Putin countered by saying Iran is the most controlled in nuclear use. Relations between Russia and the Western countries, including the US, were severely strained after Moscow's annexation of Crimea in 2014. Russia is also accused of meddling in the 2016 US elections, a claim it strongly denies. Ahead of the Helsinki summit, Donald Trump blamed US-Russia tensions on previous administrations. And now the sports news. France defeated Croatia 4-2 in the FIFA World Cup final at the Luzhniki Stadium on Sunday. Playing their third World Cup final, the French side was constantly pushed by Croatians in the initial phase of the match. But they got lucky in the 18th minute when Croatian striker Mario headed an Antonio Griezmann's free kick into his own net. 10 minutes later, the Croats equalized the score after Ivan netted the ball with a powerful shot, but the Croatian midfielder was then penalized for handball following a VAR review, which Griezmann comfortably converted into a goal in the 38th minute to put France 2-1 up. Croatia fought hard for an hour, but they looked exhausted after playing extra time in their three previous matches, and goals from Paul Pogba and Kylian gave France a 3-goal lead. However, Mario Mandzukic pounced on a mistake by France keeper Hugo to cut the deficit in the 69th minute, but it was not enough as they lost the game 2-4 to France. And India created history after winning 7 gold medals at the Golden Glove Vojvodina Youth Tournament in Serbia. India also finished at the top position with 17 medals in total, including 7 golds, 6 silver and 4 bronze medals. Aman in the 91 kilograms weight category, Akash Kumar in 56, Varun Singh in 49 kilograms category, Vijay Deep in 69 kilograms were among the gold winners in the men's category. While in women boxing, Divya Pawar, Neetu and Lalita clinched the gold medal. Russia fetched 11 medals, including 3 gold, 2 silver and 6 bronze, but finished at third behind Kazakhstan, who had a better gold medal count with 5 in their overall haul of 7 medals. And that's all we have for you in this edition of News Tonight. For more news and updates, keep watching Rajya Sabha television.